Mr. Pandaria, the music, StarCraft, Diablo, all that stuff goes to him. Now we also got over here Laura Intravia, flute lady. Flute lady. So you'll be seeing Laura singing tonight. She's playing the flute. She'll be, she's got this weird electronical
wind instruments.
Yes, electronic wind instruments. And this is our local talent who I discovered. This is Christian Escobar, also known as Psycho Crusher. So he's gonna be playing with us tonight. It's gonna be really cool. He's put together have you put that on YouTube?
Yeah, I did.
You son of a should have waited till after the show.
I'm sorry, it was the first.
Then I could have said world premiere. You know what? I'm going to say it anyway. I'll say it's the world premiere. The live world. It's the live world premiere. Very good.
I'll call him good. Shut down.
So yeah, right. So anyway, I created Video Games Live because I wanted to prove to the world how culturally significant and artistic video games have become. Right. I was so sick of people giving video games a bad reputation and saying that video games aren't art, and I'm like, screw that. So, I created the show over 10 years ago, but it took me 3 years to put on the very first show because everybody thought I was crazy. I was insane. Yeah. Even the video game publishers, they were like, who the hell would go listen to video game music? Us. Buy a symphony? What are you talking about? So all the companies even thought I was a little nuts. But I finally got all the rights for all the games, and when we played our first show, it was on July 6th in 2005, over seven and a half years ago. And we played in the biggest venue in America, the most famous venue, the Hollywood Bowl, because I wanted it to be as big as it could possibly be. And we played with 200 musicians on stage with the LA Philharmonic, and they thought that maybe 1,000 people would show up. Well, 11,000 people showed up for the first show, so all of a sudden I wasn't so crazy anymore. Well, still maybe a little crazy, but so that's where it kind of built. So in 2005 we did 3 shows, and then 2006 we did 11 shows. 2007 we did 17 shows. In 2008 we did 29 shows. 2009 47 shows. So every year we got up to like 50, 60 shows now a year. And all over the world. But I keep telling people when I do my press interviews and stuff, people say, "Oh, why'd why you're here in Chile for the first time?" And we've been going to Brazil for about 7 years now. This will be our 7th year in Brazil. We're playing there this week. 3 shows in Brasilia, São Paulo, and Rio. But we've been going there for 7 years, different cities around Brazil, and I've gotten so many emails and Facebook messages and stuff from people from Chile going, please, please bring the show.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, he was one of them. And we've been trying to put together the show here for so long because the people here seem so passionate about video games, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited about tonight. I mean, it's the first time, we got a full house, sold out show. There's going to be over 3,000 people in there. And what I love about the show, when I tell people, like the press and stuff about it, is I always say, because they're like, why do people like video game music and this and that? And, I always say that, it brings back memories, like this like nostalgia. And remember when you were a kid and you see certain games or, stuff like that. But really, I wanted to create this as a whole celebration of the entire video game industry, I wanted it to be a complete celebration, but more importantly, too, for the people out there to understand that, we're, gamers aren't nerds, gamers aren't, maybe some of us.
We embrace it. We're proud of it.
Yeah. That's right, yeah. That's right, exactly. Big Bang Theory, they're all, nerds are cool now.
It's a Blizzard Entertainment core value. Embrace your inner geek.
There you go, exactly. And so we really want gamers to be proud, because I mean we're bigger than the movie industry, we're bigger than the, you know, the music industry, everything. Gamers, you know, it's become so popular. And tonight we're going to prove it, right? This is the first video game concert ever in Chile. Woo! Finally! Right, finally. But the goal here is we want to continue to come here every year. Now that we proved it here, because everyone thought we were crazy, now look what we did, right? Filled up the place, sold it out. So next year, every time we come back, we bring new material and new stuff. And a lot of people ask me, how did I come up with the set list tonight? Well, I got to tell you, I didn't really come up with it. I just asked people on our Facebook page. I said, what do you guys want to hear? And I looked and we took a poll online, did a survey online. So literally, these 20 songs tonight, I mean, are the top picks that everybody, I mean, it was by far all these songs. There's so many great things we're not playing tonight, but that's a cool thing. Next year we come back and we have so many different versions too. It's like, people want to hear Zelda. Well, we got like 5 different Zelda things. So Warcraft, we got about 20 different Warcraft things in the show. So each year we'll play something a little different and bring it back. So why don't you say a few words, Russell, about this guy.
Russell, what did you read for me?
This guy's been crazy working on Miss Pandaria.
Well, Blizzard has been involved with Video Games Live since that first concert Tommy mentioned in 2005, and I believe very few, if any, VGL concerts have happened that hasn't had at least one Blizzard.
Everyone. 250 shows. Every show's had it.
Along with, we partnered up to do our own special events. Our BlizzCon shows, an all Blizzard evening. We've done it just in Beijing. We did this very recently to announce or to celebrate the launch of Miss Pandaria, which was imminent at the time, but obviously now it's out with us. And I just want to say that as a composer, as someone who likes to create worlds and increase immersion for people, that what I never expected to happen in my career is after one of these shows, and this has happened several times, like a parent will come up to me and say, my daughter wants to learn to play the cello because of the music they heard in your game. And I suddenly had an epiphany, you know, it doesn't get better for a composer than that. So as we all grew up on film scores and popular music, and it became, as Tommy would say, the soundtrack to our lives, it's a privilege and an honor to help create, you know, the next generation of music, get families and children back to see symphonies, to see live music, and to celebrate it in this amazing way of presenting it. So, my first time here, it's an honor. Thank you so much.
Anybody got any questions? Who's got questions?
Here.
Right here, yeah.
First of all, thank you for coming to Chile.
Yeah.
Very well.
It took a long time to have you here. First of all, I was talking with my brother about the new music and old music.
New versus old music.
Yeah, new video games have so many good graphics that I think they don't put so much effort in the music.
Well, let me play devil's
Well, of
advocate
course, there
for you.
are some exceptions, of course,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus and many more.
Well, see, there's the thing, right? So people always ask me this question: what do you like better, the classics or the new stuff? Now, in tonight's show, you're going to get both. It's going to be a little more leaning towards classics, I think, though. Because a lot of people wanted to hear the classics.
So this is the first time you're here.
So I don't want to give away too much of it, but a lot of people ask for Street Fighter.
I saw the thing. I saw
Chrono
the
Trigger. Chrono Trigger.
Yeah. Chrono Trigger. Do we know that one? No, I'm not sure. But here's the thing. Yeah. So here's the thing, is that when we used to make games 20 years ago and make music, like, we had to focus entirely on melody. Because that's all we had. We had like 4 bleep, bloop, bleep, you know, so it had to be very strong. So because we didn't have to record live orchestras and all the production, so it was all about melody, right? Yeah. So you look at the best games music-wise, from Tetris, Mario, Zelda, Castlevania, Mega Man, Street Fighter, all those amazing games, they all had strong melody lines. Now, you take the games of today, and see there's still some games, I always tell composers and stuff, I always, when I write music, I still pretend like I'm back 23 years ago, just because it's all about melody to me, still. So you'll notice that the games today, some of the modern games, Halo, the Final Fantasy stuff, Kingdom Hearts, any of the Warcraft stuff, God of War, Shadow of the Colossus, stuff like that. Metal Gear Solid. Those are some. So there's just as many great games now, music-wise, to me, as there was back then. And here's the other thing. See, when we're kids and we think back, we only remember the great stuff. But the reality is, if you really think about it, back in the old days, there was more shit. Sorry. There's a lot of crap too, wasn't there? Right?
Yeah.
We don't remember the crap. We always think now, oh, there's crappy music now. There was a lot of crappy music back then too, but we only remember the best ones.
These kids today.
So to me, I think it's. I really do think it's equal. You know, to me, my favorite score ever of all time was Final Fantasy VIII from Nobuo Uematsu. My favorite game of all time was probably Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. So, but yeah, that's my opinion on that. So,
I think you're right. A great melody holds up whether it's played on a music box, to a piano, to a full orchestra.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that it's so much hard to do music with so little how to do it?
Little technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Another question.
To feel that atmosphere.
Yeah, from Peru. You came to Peru. We're trying to get our asses. Next year, we're hoping to come right to you. You're in Lima.
¿El tema tiene credencial?
Gracias.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's right. Yeah. You had to
Enróllalo
fly
conmigo,
out
por
here, and I helped. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you so much. You know, I have an orchestra there called Animatissimo. We are a fan-made orchestra. We made both anime and video game music. I showed you some videos back then.
Great.
And I got a lot of effort with my friends to have with very little money to bring my people a good made orchestra.
Yeah.
The question I want to thank you for this because
The Alfred stuff.
The sense of people score from you from you that helps us to
Cool.
perform.
That's why we did it.
Yeah.
We don't make any money off that. Zero
But-
money.
Yeah, the thing is, how hard do you think we can, as a fan-made orchestra, perform more music, hoping to have this course itself? Maybe if I want to perform some of myself or Warcraft, we have also their music, but it's for piano and chorus.
Right.
Right? But in the case that we want to bring a concert, a fan-made people, fan musicians, but who love music and love video game music, to get their orchestral score, how hard do you think it will be?
It depends. You can email me after, and I can tell you some of them are easy. Like some people like to give away the scores, other companies don't. So I know every company, and I know how hard. Like Nintendo won't give you anything. Square Enix is a pain in the ass. Don't. Do not put that on the internet.
And it's on.
And record. Yeah, and tweet. Okay. But other companies are cool about it, so it really depends on each thing. But we should talk more. We'll talk more after the show.
Ask one question.
Yeah.
Hi, Austin.
Yo, Austin.
Nice to meet you. Is this the first time you signed in a local musician to play with you, or did you every time you go out?
Yeah, every time we go, we always use the musicians from here. Yeah. So all the people on stage tonight are from Chile. Yeah.
First of all, sorry for the English.
No, sorry, I don't know any Spanish.
I have a kind of personal question.
Yes.
Because when I was a child, I loved a lot of music games you made.
Oh, cool.
And one of the most important for me was MBK.
MBK, yeah, that was the one we did after Earthworm Jim. Yeah.
I love that music.
Cool.
It's get to me. So I question what about MBK3?
MBK, the game?
Yeah.
The team that did Earthworm Jim, we've been actually talking, so we might actually make another Earthworm Jim game someday. So yeah, we're talking about that. We'd probably do that first before anything else. But the thing I gotta tell everybody too is that if you like the show tonight, and I hope you do, the only way that Video Games Live has been able to survive, because like I said, none of the mainstream media cover us. If you don't, like people who don't know what it is, they're just like, what the hell, that's ridiculous, right? So what helps us the most is if you guys, after the show, please tell people like how much you liked it, because I wanted to create the show for everybody, not just hardcore gamers, but for parents and grandparents and people who don't even play games. So, but I need you guys' help, because right now, over the last couple months, the only person who's been talking about video